one thing in regarding related to banks and savings accounts and having cash flow, sometimes we hear, and our clients I think know this drill, but we hear sometimes from I think friends and family will ask me this question: "Hey, Mark, I got a little extra money. I'm looking for an opportunity. Where should I put it? You know, what I mean, not so much even the hot stock, maybe just should I buy some extra real estate and rent it out? Should I, look for an alternative with private investment, extra cash?" And I tell them sometimes, hey, you know what? You can if you have the risk tolerance that fits in your plan or your situation. But maybe sometimes just having that extra savings or putting that to work for you for down the road also will compound. Talk to me about that philosophy a little bit.
Yeah. I think people put a lot of emphasis on the return of their portfolio, and they think that is the largest contributor to the success of their plan. If I can get, 15% return year after year after year, which, we all would love to do, then it's going to be great. Or they might say, oh, I've got a chance to invest in this one private company, and it's going to be a home run. And if that plays out, then, I'm going to be a millionaire and everything's going to be lovely. But what really it comes down to, that, as you just said, that's super risky, right? You have no idea if that 1 in a million chance is going to happen. So I think it's more important to focus on just continuing to save. Just keep putting money away. The majority of your growth will come from your own dollars going in than it will from the earnings portion of that money. Yeah, it's always funny. I had somebody come to me too, during the downturn, like, I've got some cash. What would be a good, industry right now? What's going to come back with the pandemic? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about investments. As a financial planner, I don't know anything about investments. I look at everything except the investments and ways to kind of offset that. I actually have my own financial advisor that manages my money. I don't manage my own money for that reason.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. I think having that, and part of it, I think, is not just you have to know everything about investing or planning, but just having that discipline or fundamental basis to doing the right thing and understanding how money can work for you when put in the right place over time. And you don't need necessarily the home run or the exotic investment. It doesn't mean that you can't go for that and speculate a little bit, but I'm with you, is that sometimes just having that put to work and the same old boring thing you might already have a piece of already, or a mutual fund or other strategy might be just as good versus spending it.
Yeah. I think as long as you're not relying on that, the success of your plan is not solely reliant on that one thing being a home run investment. It's sort of like relying on an inheritance from your family, and you're just kind of hoping they don't spend it all because that's actually a retirement plan. You think, oh.
Well, yeah, or the flip side of that, if somebody has, let's say, their emergency reserves in place, but they're holding maybe too much cash or too much savings and not putting that money to work for them in a vehicle.
That's right.
Right. So I think there's two sides of that.
You have to balance. You have to balance that out.